So today we're going to go over everything you need to know about launch control in your BRZ, FRS, or GT86. For the unfamiliar, launch control enables the ability to hold the engine at an RPM of your choosing. This feature is achieved simply by tuning the car's ECU. For our application, we'll be using the OpenFlash Tablet, but this can be achieved by virtually any other tuning platform available. With that said, let's get back to this. So why do you need launch control? Truthfully, you probably don't. Unless you do constant stop-start stuff like an autocross or a drag racing applications, or your vehicle is turbocharged or supercharged, then you probably really have no actual need for launch control. So with the car already tuned, just with any base from OpenFlash performance with the OpenFlash tablet, all we simply have to do is have the car started, pretty straightforward. Then we want to make sure we have it in gear. So now that we're in first, we simply hold the clutch down all the way, and then we just rev the piss out of it. And that's all there really is to launch control. And now that we're pretty familiar with actual launch control, kind of how it works and what we need to do to actually get it in the BRZ, let's go ahead and take a look at how we can actually adjust the parameters for launch control once we have it flash with OpenFlash Tablet. So now with ROMraider installed, the definitions required, along with the correct bin file loaded, we can now edit the launch control parameters. To do so, we're going to want to navigate to the last folder on the left-hand side, which should be labeled Alpha BRZ FFS/LC. Once expanded, we are presented with three options, two of which deal with launch control. Here we'll find launch control disable speed, along with launch control RPM delta. The first option, disable speed, will allow us to customize at which speed launch control is disabled. By default, this should be set to disable any time above 6 miles per hour, or about 9-ish kilometers per hour at the time of recording. The second and final option for launch control is going to be the RPM delta. And this is what we kind of really care about for this video. Here we can actually adjust at what RPM we want to hold. This is configured by simply subtracting from redline, so from 7500-ish RPM. By default, any OpenFlash tablet tune will have launch control set to a delta of 2000, which will hold the car around 5500 RPM, which is what we saw earlier. And from that video, as we saw, there was a ton of wheel spin with the default configuration. So in order to minimize as much wheel spin as possible, while still providing a very powerful launch, I would say we want to set this roughly around 4,000 to 4,200 RPM, which for me seems to be the magic spot. So to adjust this, we'll simply want to set this RPM delta to 3,500 RPM, save the modified bin file, and then go ahead and put it on the tablet via OpenFlash Manager, and then just flash the car, and then we're all set up. So now we're back, we have the bin file adjusted, and we have the car flashed again. So now we can go ahead and test how the launch control is after our little adjustment. So that's it. That's basically everything you'd ever need to know about launch control and the FT86 platform. It can also be obtained via EcuTech tunes as well. I'm not too familiar with all that, but I pretty much just mess with OpenFlash Tablet as far as time goes. Very simple procedure, as you saw. Just got to do a little bit of very basic math to go ahead and get the delta correct. I would recommend playing around to see what works with best for you. And of course, that was all done on stock wheels and tires. Those results may vary once you have a different wheel and tire setup on the vehicle like we do now. I plan on probably mixing together a very short, quick video of a couple of clips, kind of stock tires versus an aftermarket wheel tire setup to kind of see and compare and contrast exactly how that affects launch control as well, if anyone's interested. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below, and I do my best to answer everybody, probably within a 24-hour period, a lot of the times much sooner. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you'd like to subscribe for more mediocre content such as this, please do, and stay tuned for the next one, and take care.